Shalom, shalom. First, give it all praise to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Shai. Today, class, Cinco de Mayo is an unnecessary matter for the 12 tribes of Israel. I'm going to say 12 tribes. We know this pagan custom, this pagan holiday really emphasized on the northern tribe of Israel. But one thing about Judah, we don't have to, it don't take much for us to want to party. So, dealing with this custom, we want to go into it, man, and we want to kind of bring some understanding to what's going on. So let's start out with the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, and let's go ahead and start with verse 4.
Book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
So as we wake up to this biblical truth, Israel, we know now that we're in spiritual warfare. But nothing about this warfare is carnal. Nothing about this warfare is physical. We know we're in a spiritual battle. That's why our goal is to wake up the 1/3 of our people that's going to repent. And we got to wake them up through the spirit of the Most High God. We got to wake them up and change the mindset of the things that they are doing, the things that they've been taught. Which on this day we talk about Cinco de Mayo. Read on up.
But mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
To the do what?
Pulling down of strongholds.
We got to pull down the strongholds that's holding our nation back. We got to pull down the strongholds that's keeping us in a pretty much, I'm going to say, docile state of mind, Israel. Read on.
Casting down imagination.
We got to cast down these imaginations. This class, we're going to go into the concept, celebrating Cinco de Mayo. This pretty much celebration is not even of our culture. This is something that we was taught and we was trapped into our captivity. So read on.
And every high thing that has exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Yahweh Shai.
So bringing into captivity anything that's holding you back for serving the Most High God, anything that's putting a damper and you being obedient to the will of God, we got to cast that down. So let's go into the book of 1 Timothy, chapter 6 and verse 12. Cinco de Mayo, man, is truly an unnecessary matter. But guess what? Cinco de Mayo ties up with what? Beer, barbecue, and blunt. So guess what? Israel, we gonna celebrate it. Read that right quick, guys.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 12. Fight the good fight of faith.
So in the process of what we should be doing is fighting this good fight of faith. Our faith is in the Most High and His Son Yahweh Shai. Read on.
Lay hold on eternal life.
Laying hold on eternal life. The things of this world is not going to give us eternal life, Israel. Read on.
Whereunto thou art also called. And has professed a good profession.
Has did what?
Professed a good profession.
Read on.
Before many witnesses.
So this is our job, man, to walk in the light, which is these commandments. Now let's get some more on that confessing. Give me Romans chapter 10 and verse 9. Confessing, man. Speaking and letting your light shine. Being of good works, which we know these works are the laws that you commanded, that was only given to us. Read that right quick out.
Romans chapter 10, verse 9. That if thou shalt confess with thy mouth.
So now we're dealing with this good confession. If thou was to confess with thy mouth, read.
The Lord Yahweh Shai, and shall believe.
And shall do what?
Believe.
So in the process of this confessing, which when we confess, we bringing something up front, we bringing something to light. And if thou shalt what?
Believe.
Okay, we underline believe, Israel. We're going to go into that. Read on.
In thy heart.
In thy mind, read.
That God had raised him from the dead. Thou shalt be saved.
So in the process of this good confession, we understand we must believe in our mind. And just to break you down, I never want to leave no one in the grave. Give it that Sirach 32 and 24. Because Christianity has never taught you the element of believing. Christianity tell you believing is a feeling, is a thought, is a concept. But we know the Most High God is a God of knowledge. He would never leave us in the dark. So if you believe in your mind, dealing with believing in your mind, read that right quick out.
Sirach chapter 32, verse 24. He that believeth in the Lord.
So he that believeth in the Lord, read.
Taking heed to the commandment.
So when you taking heed, you making observation. You observing, you paying attention to the what?
Commandment.
Read on.
And he that trusted in him.
And by taking heed to the commandment and trusting in him, read.
Shall fare never the worse.
So now we get this understanding of this confession, of this believing. So when we roll in this matter, I'm going to show you something, Israel. Give me Romans chapter 10 and verse 10 right quick. Because we want to deal with this. I want to show you something. Now we deal with believing. Knowing believing is keeping these commandments. When you're dealing with commandments, when you're dealing with the straight commandments that was given with us, and you'll find out it's time for us to weed out some things. But I'm going to show you something. Read that right quick, God.
Romans chapter 10, verse 10. For with the heart man believeth.
So with your mind, man believing, which we know believing is what? Keeping the commandments. Believing it is an action word, man. It's not a feeling. So I want y'all to get that out your head. Christianity taught you believe and all that, and emotions and thoughts. But we know, but to believe, you got to be putting something in action. Read on.
Unto righteousness.
Unto what?
Righteousness.
So now we know the element of the keeping the commandments is that what we call process of righteousness. Read on.
And with the mouth confession.
There that confession go again.
It's made unto salvation.
It is made unto our deliverance, man. Put things into action. Now I'm going to show you something. In the process, when you read verse 10 again, for with the heart, man believe it. With the heart, which we know is the mind, Israel. You must develop your mind to righteousness. Righteousness is not just going to fall out the sky. You must develop your mind to righteousness. How is that done? Give me Psalms chapter 1, and we'll start at verse 1. So when we're dealing with the heart, which we know is the mind, we must understand what we should be doing. To believe, you got to build that process up of understanding. And how we do that. Psalms 1 and 1.
Psalms chapter 1, verse 1. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
So we understand the Most High is addressing. This is King David speaking. He said, blessed is the man that do what?
That walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly.
So blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the rudiments of this world. Walk in the counsel, not in the things outside this Bible, man. Read on.
Nor standeth in the way of sinners.
Or nor standeth in the way of sinners, man. When you abiding in the will of the Most High God, man, our job, and I say it all the time, is to warn our nation. You know what I'm saying? And that's it, and that's all, man. Read on.
Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful.
Or nor pretty much partake in the foolishness of the wicked. Read on.
But his delight is in the law.
But is what?
His delight is in the law of the Lord.
So that delight is in the law of the Lord. You must develop your mind to righteousness. How do you do that? You must dwell in the doctrines that was only given to our nation, man. You must dwell in obedience to the Most High God. Read on.
In his law doeth he meditate day and night.
How long?
Day and night.
No, just sometime.
Day and night.
So you must meditate on the will of God, which is for us, is to keep the commandments day and night. So when you thinking, and even in Christianity, when you thinking you just can read your Bible just on Sunday, which we know that wasn't the concept, but that's what we've been trying to do. But King David is telling us, you must meditate on the will of God day and night. Read on.
And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
Because guess what? When you dwelling in the will of the Most High God, you understand the will of the Most High God. You know, and you have a better foresight on what is to do and what is to not to do. You have a better foresight on what is good and what is evil, man. A lot of time our people don't understand it. I'm going to show you something. When you're operating in that spirit, give me that Psalm 40 and 8 right quick. Just to back up what we just read. When you're operating in that spirit, understanding this is not a opinion or thought, this is pretty much essential to do. It's not saying occasionally this is what you must do. We have been pretty much doctrinized with doctrines of the devil. We have been pretty much, I'm talking about ridiculed and persecuted for every form of fashion of our captivity. So for you to think that you just gonna walk righteous without actually dwelling and studying the word of the Most High God, it's crazy, man. Read that right quick, God.
Psalm chapter 40, verse 8. I delight to do thy will.
Because when you understand his will is life for us, you're not celebrating Cinco de Mayo. You're not doing Christmas. You're not doing Mother's Day. You're not doing St. Patrick's Day. Because you have a better understanding. These things are not of the Most High God. Read on.
Oh my God. Yea, thy law is within my heart.
So the law's got to be within your mind, Israel. I'm telling you, when you dwell in the doctrines of the Most High God and you dwell in keeping his commandments, you have a better oversee on everything that is wicked because you understand what is not wicked. You understand what is righteous. So as you build on as we go on, let's go into this concept. Give me Romans 12 and 2. Because Paul spoke about these things. As we continue, because I know at one point we was in a position where these things were forced upon us. These things were pretty much pushed upon us to the point where if we didn't do these things, there was death, there was torture in this process. But now Israel, the Most High God has pretty much lightened up our burden to a certain extent where we choose to do these things now. Paul speaks about this. Read that right quick, God.
Romans chapter 12, verse 2. And be not conformed to this world.
Do what?
Be not conformed to this world.
So we should not be conformed to this world. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of times, our people love the things of this world. They continue to walk in the ways of this world. But Paul say, what? Read that again.
And be not conformed to this world. But be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind.
This is what Israel has not understood. See, when you look at all religions, I tell people all the time, religion have not renewed none of the minds of our people. Religion actually just capitalize your sin. Religion teach you how to hide your sin. It teach you that you can function in an ungodly way and still say you're a child of God. So when you think about it, Israel, you've been taught by the synagogue of Satan, man. Read on.
That ye may prove what is that good.
Read on.
And acceptable and perfect will of God.
This battle is so hard because guess what, Israel? Our elders, our prophets, and pastors that we're supposed to have in the nation of Israel has not taught us what is good. So when we deal with trying to get right, we never grasp on to what is good. So when you think about that, let me show you something. Give me Psalm chapter 37 and give me verse 26. Because Cinco de Mayo, man, we're going to dive right into it. I just want to build up a little understanding of what's going on. When you're dwelling in this truth, man, you have a better understanding of what you should be doing. But our people choose not to do that. Read that right quick, out.
Psalm chapter 37, verse 26. He is ever merciful.
Understand that merciful is forgiving, man. We know we all fall short, but the Most High God, he's waiting on us to come back to him. He's waiting on us to get it right, man. Read on.
And lended. And his seed is blessed.
And his what?
Seed is blessed.
I want y'all to pay attention to is that and his seed, which we know we come from a great lineage, which is Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And is it and his what?
And his seed is blessed.
I want y'all to pay attention because Christianity never covered that understanding. We are that chosen seed, man. We are blessed. But we just got to reverse the curse by being obedient, man. Read on.
Depart from evil.
Do what?
Depart from evil.
Read on.
And do good.
And this is what we have to understand. And do good. Read.
And dwell forevermore. For the Lord loveth judgment.
For the Lord do what?
Loveth judgment.
When you deal with judgment, Israel, you're dealing with the understanding of the law. You're dealing with the consequences of when you don't abide in the law. So it said the Lord loveth what?
Judgment.
We serve a just God, Israel. This is the problem. A lot of y'all don't want the Most High God to be just because you want him to give you a pass. You want him to actually, well, you know, he all right, you know, he tried to do what he can do. No, man, read that again.
For the Lord loveth judgment.
Read on.
And forsaketh not his saints.
And he don't forsake his saints, man. Read.
They are preserved forever.
So understand, man, when you understand the judgment of the law, man, and you abide in them, man, he preserve us, man, his saints. But read on.
But the seed of the wicked.
But the what?
But the seed of the wicked.
Read on.
Shall be cut off.
So when you deal with it, Israel, we know it's a similitude to the precept. We know we're dealing with the wicked of the other nation. But guess what? From the foolishness of sinners of our nation that choose to do the custom of the heathen, they're going to be cut off as well. Mm-hmm. Read on.
The righteous shall inherit the land. And dwell therein forever. The mouth of the righteous speaketh wisdom.
The mouth of the what?
Righteous speaketh wisdom.
Because when you dealing with the righteous, we're not speaking about Cinco de Mayo. We're not speaking about Christmas. We're not speaking about Mother's Day. We're not speaking about the things that we've been taught in our captivity. Mm-hmm. Read on.
And his tongue talketh of judgment.
We gonna speak about these laws, man. We gonna speak about obedience to the Most High God, man. So we gonna dwell in the same understanding that the Most High preserved for us to do, man. Read on.
The law of his God is in his heart.
In his what?
Heart.
In his mind, man. Understand that. Read on.
None of his steps shall slide. The wicked watcheth the righteous.
What does the wicked do?
Watcheth the righteous.
So we gonna find out. We about to jump into the Cinco de Mayo. The wicked do what?
Watcheth the righteous.
Read on.
And seeketh to slay him.
And seek to slay us, man. Destroy us. Understand, when you're dealing with slay, it's more than one way to slay. We know the physical concept of killing, but if I can slay you mentally, pretty much make you sin against your God, you are already dead. You spiritually dead. You just waiting on the death certificate. But you are spiritually dead. And this is how the other nature has slayed us. So I'm going to show you something. Go ahead and let's go into 1 Maccabees chapter 1 and we'll start at verse 1. Because we want to deal with this Cinco de Mayo and the custom of Cinco de Mayo. And like I say, it goes really with the Northern Kingdom. We're dealing with the Hispanics, which we know Hispanic means property of Spain, which is a byword that was taught to our brothers in, our brothers in their captivity, which they went in 1492. So I'm gonna bring this out, man. We're gonna dive right into it. Go ahead and read that.
1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim.
So we dealing with around about 330 BC right now. Read on.
Had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece.
The first over who?
Greece.
So we dealing with pretty much the Edomites. Read on.
And made many wars.
And did what?
Made many wars.
So I'm going into this understanding because our people, and I shout out to the Northern Tribe, man, dealing with this Cinco de Mayo. I'm trying to share with you. This have nothing to do with us. I'm going to show you with the understanding. In this time, we dealing with Alexander the Free. You know what I'm saying? And we dealing with Ptolemy children right now. So in the process of them ruling, read verse 2 again.
And made many wars.
Read on.
And won many strongholds.
And won many strongholds. Read on.
And slew the kings of the earth.
Slew the kings of the earth. At this time, man, they was killing our nation. They was killing the Israelites, man. They was killing pretty much all the dark kings of the earth at the time. Read on.
And went through to the ends of the earth. And took spoils of many nations.
Destroyed many nations, Israel. Read.
And so much that the earth was quiet before him.
So pretty much the element of the earth being quiet, man, they had dominated the whole earth at this time. The so-called devil was coming back into power. Read on.
Whereupon he was exalted.
He was what?
Exalted.
Read on.
And his heart was lifted up.
His heart, which is his mind, was lifted up. Read on.
And he gathered a mighty strong host.
So in this process of gathering this mighty strong host, this is what I want to get to. Read on.
And ruled over countries and nations and kings who became tributaries.
Who became what?
Tributaries.
When you're dealing with tributaries, you're dealing with pretty much what we can consider. Finish it out.
Okay, to him.
They became tributaries unto him. They became confederate to him, which confederate means joined by pretty much one agreement. That word confederate, which you know where I'm going, Psalms 83 and 4. They became tributary to him, Israel. This is where all, think about it, when they was in rulership and when they was conquering nations, this is where Ptolemy's children spread it out. This is where you don't have the northern tribe. Now you have Spaniards that's in Mexico. This is where you have, and see the thing about it, you celebrate the Cinco de Mayo, but you don't know nothing about the conquistadors, which we'll talk about in a minute. So dealing with them being confederate, pretty much joined on one agreement. Go ahead and read that right quick, because I want to show you something, Israel. A lot of times we dealing with things that were pushed upon us. We dealing with things that we feel like we're a part of, but this have nothing to do with us. Read that right quick, guys.
Psalms chapter 83, verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them
Slow
off.
down. Read that again.
They have said.
They have said. I want y'all to understand, man, when Alexander the Great was in rulership and when he passed the power down to his sons, man, this is where the white man pretty much killed, steal, and destroy, man. This is where he spread his seed out all across the nation, man. He was killing the men and raping the women, man. So understand what we dealing with. This is how his kingdom started spreading across the world, man. So read that again.
They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation.
Read on.
That the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
That the name of the chosen seed will be no more in remembrance, man. So I'm going to show you something, Israel. Let's go ahead and give me that first letter. And I want you to understand, Israel, in our captivity, man, we've been taught to celebrate the same thing Master celebrate. And I'm going to show you through the scripture, because when you're dealing with this battle, I'm going to show you something. We have no understanding of who the conquistadors is. But I'm going to show you. Read that first part right quick, God.
A conquistador. A conquistador is a person who is out to conquer new territory.
So when you're dealing with a conquistador, you got to think about what nation was in rulership when this was going on. Read on.
A conquistador was the name given to the 15th to 17th century Spanish and Portuguese soldiers.
Okay, Spanish and Portuguese soldiers. This dealing with Christopher Columbus and everything. Read on.
Who conquered much of the world.
Okay.
Most famously, the Central and Southern America.
So this is what we dealing with in 1492 with our brothers, man, the northern tribe of Israel. So when you're a conquistador, your whole concept is pretty much to conquer new territory. So when you're operating and understanding who was the conquistadors, this is the same thing that was going on. And when we read in our Greek captivity, man, dealing with Ptolemy and his children. Now, go ahead and read part A right quick.
How did the Spanish conquistadors treat the Native Americans?
So we want to go into the understanding the Spanish pretty much conquistadors, how they dealt with the northern tribe of Israel, man, because that's who we are. Read on.
The first conquistadors were commissioned by the Spanish rulers to govern as theirs any land and its inhabitants they found in the New World.
So they was empowered, man, by pretty much, this is the Spaniards, man. This is Europe. This is all the Edomites, man, that they was at this time. Read on.
Their only responsibility was to share with the Spanish crown a percentage of the riches.
So guess what? Them being in power to pretty much kill, steal, and destroy, their only obligation was pretty much to give back to their people. Whatever y'all destroy and kill or dominate, we need to get a percentage of it. That's the only requirement they have. Read on.
Especially the gold and silver. They were expected to find. The conquistadors used their authority to the fullest by enslaving the local populations and literally working them to death.
Which you know what the northern tribe of Israel at this time, read on?
In the fields and mines. Any resistance was met by swift, murderous reprisals by the Spanish.
By the who?
Spanish.
Read on.
Within a few years of occupying the large island of Hispaniola, Columbus and his appointed overseers had reduced the native Arawak population of 100,000 to essentially zero.
So, knowing this, Israel, knowing that now we are here celebrating Cinco de Mayo, which wasn't independence for Mexico at that time, because when you read on, and let's get a little history about Cinco de Mayo. Go to part B right quick for me. I'm going to show you something.
Cinco de Mayo. Cinco de Mayo is a holiday that commemorates the victory of the Mexican army over a far larger French force in the Battle of Puebla.
So I'm going to share this with you, bro. When you dealing with Ptolemy children, you pretty much got the Spaniards, man, fighting against the French. And I'm going to show you something where it's a Mexican army. I want y'all to pay attention to that, because I'm going to show you how through the scripture we can identify this is a lie, man. But read on.
On May 5th, 1862. The conflict began in 1861 when Benito Juarez, the then president of Mexico, stopped paying interest on the money he owed several countries, including France.
Okay, so now we just read with the conquistadors about their job was pretty much to discover new territory, but they had to give a percentage back. Now, when they stopped doing that, this is where the problem lies at. This problem do not lie with us, Israel, because guess what? We in captivity at this time. We pretty much being oppressed and slaughtered at this time. So we in servitude. But at the same time, we've been taught to celebrate their custom. This is not our custom right now. I'm going to show you. Read that right there. Who's the leader?
Who led the Mexican army?
Okay, now let's see who led the Mexican army. You got that picture? Now, I know this name going to be hard for you to say, y'all, but just try to do the best you can. Say the name.
Ignacio Zaragoza Ziguinha.
There you go. Good job. So when you look at this picture, man, this is the Edomite, man. Understand, this is not our custom. This is not our people. So when you go into the mindset of dealing and you thinking you celebrating the Mexico beating the French, which they actually end up losing the following year. But I'm going to show you what's going on. When you know and dwell in the truth and the understanding of the Bible, you know Israel. That's enough. You take it. You know, furthermore, this is not true. Going back, read that first part of that letter right quick again. Well, Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo is a holiday that commemorates the victory of the Mexican army.
Now we're going to stop right there. Mexican army. I'm going to show you something, Israel. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 49. Right quick. Whew, let's see here. Let's bring some understanding to this here.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 49.
Now, before we get to that part, we're going to go into the understanding of the conquistadors. The Bible speaks about this pretty much heathen nation and how they was going to come upon us. Because pretty much the conquistador had the power and authority to do whatever they want. They just had to give a percentage back to Spain. Let's see. Read right quick, God.
The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
So we understand, man, this nation that we was dealing with, pretty much the conquistadors, man, the Spaniards at this time, dealing with in 1492, dealing with the northern tribe of Israel, which they also ended up getting us too. Read on.
From the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flies.
So as swift as the eagle fly, bro. I forgot. I'm going to have you bring me up a flag. Read on. Just find me a flag, the American flag, even a Mexican flag. As swift as the what?
Eagle flies.
So understand, man, the knowledge that we need and the understanding that we need is all in this Bible. We just got to be obedient and break down the scripture. You got one up? Let me see this. What Big Mom say? The proof is in the pudding, man. As swift as what?
The eagle flies.
So when you look at, even with the Mexican flag, just like the American flag, as swift as the eagle flies. 1492, 1619. It's nothing new up under the sun, man. Good job, Bob. Read on.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Because they wasn't speaking our native language. So the tongue that we did not understand. So when you think about it, coming over there pretty much to kill, steal, and destroy, knowing they couldn't speak Hebrew, they didn't come to negotiate nothing, Israel. This was torture upon us, man. Read on.
A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation of what?
Fierce countenance.
Read on.
Which shall not regard the persons of old, nor shew favor to the young.
So when you understand what was going on, when you understand that the conquistadors and pretty much demolished the northern tribe of Israel and put them in captivity, you're not celebrating Cinco de Mayo because you understand the people that's dealing with Cinco de Mayo, that was the Spaniards against the French. That wasn't your people, Israel. So let's go a little further with this. Give me 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41, man, because you got to understand how this devil operates to actually be able to be wise in your ways of being righteous, man, and trying to walk in the ways that the Most High God wants us to walk. You have to understand, but the only way you can understand is being obedient, coming back to the oracles of the Most High, man. 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41, man. Give me that right quick.
1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
So that's why you in the process of celebrating, because guess what? When you in a servitude mindset, you don't say their army. You say our army. Just like you don't see nobody that's awakened talking about, hey, man, we in trouble. Yeah. We say, man, America is about to go down. Really? We don't say we, because we understand, man, anytime you've been brought somewhere and served, as long as we serve in this hellhole in captivity, we realize this is not our resting place, man. We realize this is not us, man. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, we have learned to take the custom of master. We have learned to abide in everything that he do. Same thing going on in our Greek captivity. Read on.
And everyone should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. And when you read that precept, Israel, you think about it, what heathen have laws? So there was a direct hit towards the 12 tribes of Israel. So when the heathen agreed, they pretty much was already in understanding, because we go back in Psalm 83, they was already confederate. That means they was pretty much joined together by one agreement to hull out the 12 tribes of Israel. Read on. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Because you got to understand, man, our people, man, some of our people weak in spirit, some of our people just sell out home. Then some of our people was forced, man, was pretty much tortured to this point, man. Read on.
And sacrifice unto idols. And profane the Sabbath.
So this is what we're looking at today, man. Taking these custom on. Trying to get in to fit in. That's what it seemed to be. This is what our people still doing. But at the process, I'm going to show you how, you know, I heard this old saying before. If you put, I'm going to say downhill. I ain't going to say that word. But if you put sugar on downhill, it's still a downhill. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So when you think about what's going on, I'm going to show you how crafty the devil is, man. Wisdom of Solomon, man, 14:16. Because I'm going to tell you, it got our people in a mindset where we celebrating pretty much the demolish and destruction of our nation. We celebrating just, things that don't profit us nothing, Israel. Read that right quick, guys. And I'm going to show you how they put that sugar on that donkey.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, verse 16. Thus, in process of time,
in the process of our captivity, in the process of being oppressed, in the process of being slaughtered, killed, and destroyed, read.
An ungodly custom grown strong.
Understand, an ungodly custom grown strong, read.
Was kept as a law.
Was what?
Kept as a law.
Read on.
Engraven images were worshipped by the commandments of kings.
So this is what's going on, man. There's nothing new upon the sun. They make it a holiday. They give you the day off. So you know what I'm saying? Some jobs give you a day off with pay. They put you in a position, and they put pretty much sugar on that dome, Israel, and you're not understanding, man. This has nothing to do with us, man. So when you're in that mindset and you look at it and you feel like, well, ain't nothing can be wrong with celebrating this, man. You know, I give me some tamales, man, some corn in the cup. You know, put some cream and they put that butter in there. Yeah, man, you know, I don't mind my job. We be eating good on that day. I'm going to show you something. Give me that in Psalms, chapter 73 and verse 3 right quick, man. Because you lost in the sauce. Don't get caught up, man. Don't get caught up. That's why Job say, man, prepare thy search for your father. You up here celebrating the custom and the ways that enslaved our nation. You up here celebrating this captivity, man. Go ahead, out.
Psalms chapter 73, verse 3. For I was envious at the foolish.
Read that again, out.
For I was envious at the foolish.
So when you're dealing with the ungodly custom that you get to your days off, you're barbecuing, you're doing all these things, you feel in your mind when you're not dwelling in the righteous scriptures, you start thinking of the flesh. You start thinking of the way of the world. So you put yourself in a position where you do this. Read that again.
For I was envious at the foolish.
So you start feeling like, man, I mean, can't really be that bad, man. You know, ain't nobody getting killed. Not knowing the process of time, people was getting killed for this, man. We had forefathers that was choosing death before they ate pork. Now we want hot sauce with our pork now. Read on.
When I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
When he saw this King David, he's speaking out, he's addressing. What we seeing now, he was seeing back then. It's nothing new up under the sun. When he saw the prosperity, the people that's doing this, they living good, man. They, you know, everything fine. Some jobs, when you don't participate, it's going to be hard for you to grow with that company. Because guess what? You label as a black sheep. And then my thing, there's a little oxymoron, but why the sheep got to be black? And why it got to be a bad thing? That goes back into craft and counsel. You're a black sheep. So when you do these things, man, we have to understand. Read on.
For there are no bands in their death. But their strength is firm.
Because what they doing is no consequences for the other nation. So our people that's not dealing with the righteousness of the Most High God, not dwelling in the organs of God, they get caught up in looking at the things of this world. They get caught up like, man, you know, they doing good, man.
Yeah.
Read on.
They are not in trouble as other men.
So this is what King David's seeing right now. He's like, man, look, the wicked doing wicked things, but they ain't getting caught up. They ain't in trouble. They living good. They children eating. Everybody living a great life. Read on.
Neither there are they plague like other men.
They're not even being plagued. They're not even being persecuted. When you're looking at the other nation, man, understand. When we didn't know who we were, this was frustration and madness to us. We didn't understand, man. But now we do. We know the Most High God is only dealing with us. He chastises who he loves. Read on.
Therefore pride compasseth them about as a chain. Violence covered them as a garment.
Violence do what?
Covered them as a garment.
Read on.
Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish.
So when you look at this, man, you're dealing with pretty much so-called white men. And also the other nation. The same nation that went Confederate pretty much against the 12 tribes of Israel. So when you're dealing like that, Israel, I'm going to show you. When you see and understand that, this is what you have to understand. Proverbs 3 and 31. Cinco de Mayo, man, is an unnecessary matter. This is a custom that shouldn't even be talked about dealing with the 12 tribes of Israel, man. Read that right quick, God.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 31. Envy thou not the oppressor.
You can't worry about that, man. This is not our home. This is not our resting place. So when he say envy, no matter how good it look, you can't worry about that, Israel. Read on.
And choose none of his ways.
And do what?
Choose none of his ways.
So in the process of not choosing his ways, give me Psalm 37 and verse 1 right quick. You got to, and I'm going to tell you, when you got your mind, which, you know, the Bible say the heart, meditate on his word, you're not worried about that because this is what you understand. Read that when you get there.
Psalms chapter 37, verse 1. Fret not thyself because of evildoers.
So read on.
Neither be thou envious against the workers of iniquity.
Don't be envious against the ones that's going against the will of the Most High God. Because when you understand this, read on.
For they shall soon be cut down like the grass.
Read that again.
For they shall soon be cut down like the grass.
Read on.
And wither as the green herb. Trust in the Lord.
Do what?
Trust in the Lord.
Read on.
And do good.
And do what?
Do good.
Read on.
So shalt thou dwell in the land, and verily thou shalt be fed.
And ye shall be fed, man. See, the thing about it, man, when you read the scriptures and meditate, this is all, knowing this is our comfort, you know that we are being punished, man. You know we on a grace period of trying to get ourselves back in order. But in the process, if you're not reading, if you're not actually abiding in his will, you don't have no understanding of these things. And likewise, our people perish. I'm going to show you, when you're dealing in that matter, this is what you have to understand, man. Because a lot of times our people are going to say, well, if pretty much what they say, if I don't know, if you don't know, it don't hurt you. What I don't know don't hurt me. Mm-hmm. We being destroyed on that one quote. Mm-hmm. Nothing biblical about that quote. Right. Give me Romans 3 and 4 right quick, man. Because as we continue this walk, this is what we have to realize.
Romans chapter 3 verse 4. God forbid, yea, let God be true.
Let who?
God be true.
Read on.
But every man a liar. As it is written.
And is it what?
Written.
Read on.
That thou mightest be justified.
Only way we gonna be justified, Israel, it gotta come out this Bible. Yahweh shall dress. Man don't live on bread alone, but by every word that proceeded out the mouth of the Lord, man. So only way we can be justified in our doings, it gotta be in this book. It got to be in the will of the Most High God. Finish that out. Did you finish?
That thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome.
Mightest do what?
Overcome.
Read on.
Thou art judged.
So this is what we have to understand, man. Judgment going to come to the house of the Lord first, which is the 12 tribes. You celebrate Cinco De Mayo, man, is a truly unnecessary matter. You got that little parade with Cinco De Mayo, man. Because this goes into the 3 B's. Our people love a beer, barbecue, and blunt. Anything that calls them a big kick and have fun, they gonna do it, man. We gonna be kicking. We gonna get our hair done. We got the low riders. We got all the bumping things out there. This is what our nation do, man. I know people go to the gay parade because they like to kick. They just go because it's a parade. This is the mindset of Israel, man. That's it, Al. Now, going back to what I was at earlier, man, dealing with this, the Spaniards against the French, the Cinco de Mayo, May the 5th, man, which is all garbage, man, because this is not us, because when you're dealing with what we just read, the Mexican army. I'm going to show you. Israel has not had an army since pretty much King Solomon, man. So when you're talking about Mexico against the French, and you think that's dealing with us, I'm going to show you something. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 32. Do this sound like a nation that have on?
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Read on.
And thy eyes shall look and fill with longing for them all the day long.
So when you look at what's going on, talking about the Mexican army, fought the French and all this has nothing to do with us, man. The 12 tribes of Israel don't have a pot to piss in. We don't have no type of might. Read on. The precept will tell us. Read.
And there shall be no might.
And no what?
Might.
Read on.
In thine hand.
Read on. Verse 33.
The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up.
Read on.
And thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed.
And what?
Oppressed and crushed always.
Do this sound like a nation that got an army, man? When you look at Mexico and what's going on down there now, that's the Spaniards, man. Yeah. Because if that's us, and we just read Romans 3 and 4, let God be true and every man a liar. So this is what you have to understand. You celebrating your oppressor. You celebrating the doctrine of the devil, man. This is not what we should be doing. We should not be walking in this manner. And it's sad because it's like, I'm going to tell you how pathetic it is. It's like celebrating your mama getting raped. That's what it is. I'm going to show you how I had the same love and passion. And he showed it, man, when he saw his nation going through what they was going through. Give me Luke chapter 19 and verse 41. I'm going to show you right quick, man. It's sad, man, when King Solomon, I think he said in his right, when you increase wisdom, sorrow increase, man. Because when you have love for your people, man, even though you might used to participate in these things, you want to wake them up to the truth now, because you realize all these things, man, is leading us to that lake of fire, man. It's leading us to destruction. And we just keep celebrating these things. Read that right quick, God.
Luke chapter 19, verse 41. And when he was come near, he beheld the city and wept over it.
And did what?
Wept over it.
Read on.
Saying, if thou hadst known.
And this is Yahweh addressing. He said, if thou hadst known, he's pretty much addressing. If y'all would truly know me, read on.
Even thou, at least in this thy day.
In this day, and this is Yahweh speaking, man. He said, if y'all would have understood me, and I'm going to show you why he keeps saying that. Finish that out right quick.
The things which belong unto thy peace, but now they are hid from thy eyes.
So Yahweh address, if you would just understand and know me, because he's the way to the Father. Why would Yahweh say that? Give me Psalm 47 right quick. Why would he say, if pretty much, if thou hast known, even thou, even him, because you got to go through the Father, the Son, to get to the Father. And I'm going to tell you why he said that. Read that right quick, God.
Psalms chapter 40, verse 7. Then said I, Lo, I come, in the volume.
In the what?
Volume.
Read.
Of the book.
Read on.
It is written of me.
It is what?
Written of me.
So this is why Yahweh saying, if you understood the oracles of the Most High God, he said, it's written of me. So when he said, when you go back, when he say, even thou, if you know me, you'll know the Father. So go back to where we at, and where we at, verse 43 now.
That's all.
Luke 19:43. So that's why we know Yahweh. He's the volume of the book. So understanding that's the way to the Father. And what did he teach us? He taught us to be that perfect, to walk in righteousness. He was that perfect example for us. Read 43.
Verse 43. For the days shall come upon thee, that thy enemies shall cast a trench about thee, and compass thee round, and keep thee in on every side.
And keep you in captivity. Pretty much physically, spiritually, and mentally. You got to understand, Israel, if they take you away from our God, I don't care what house you have, what car you have, I don't care what company you work for, how much money you make. If they take you away from our God, you still in captivity, man. You still a slave. They're going to be led to that lake of fire. But when you're dwelling in the righteousness of the Most High God, you understand this. Give me Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 2 right quick. And this is that going into that. You're dealing with unnecessary matters. But you don't know these things because you don't know who you are. You don't know these things because you might know you're Israelite, but you still dealing with sin. You still dealing with the rudiments of this world. Read that right quick out.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 2.
Because we just read earlier about developing your heart, which is your mind, in the oracles of the Most High God. If you dwelling in that mindset of understanding, this is what you'll understand when you think about Cinco de Mayo. Read that right quick out.
Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you.
Okay, so now we're dealing with you should not add. Cinco de Mayo is nowhere in this Bible. None of these pagan customs, these ungodly customs is in this Bible, man. But if you don't have that understanding, it's because you choose not and you're in sin. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for correction. Read on.
Neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you.
So when you understand that keeping these commandments, you understand dwelling in righteousness, give me that in Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 7, because now you have to go into the understanding. This is an individual, this is a righteous person that's day and night, like King David say, dwelling in his book. So when you dwelling in righteousness, the oversight that you have for wickedness is high level alert, man. You'll start seeing, so like, oh, there you go. Nope. You start pointing things out before they approach you. Because guess what? You walking in the spirit now. You walking not in your flesh. You walking in the wisdom of the Most High God. So you're able to see things that you weren't able to see before. And I'm going to show you, when you're dealing with these customs, when you're dealing with these pagan holidays, this is what you have to understand, man, about your God. Read that right quick, God.
Sirach, chapter 33, verse 7. Why doeth one day excel another?
Why do one day excel another? We just read, let God be true and every man a lie. So when we're dealing with the all power, we gotta understand he set the tone and pretty much the level for everything that we do, man. Read on.
When as all the light of every day is in the year is of the sun. By the knowledge of the Lord.
By the knowledge of the Lord, read.
They were distinguished.
They was what?
Distinguished.
So understand, man, they was identified. Now we just read Deuteronomy 4 and 2. Don't add or take away. So they were distinguished, read.
And he altered seasons.
He altered seasons.
And feasts.
And what?
Feasts.
Cinco de Mayo.
Feasts.
See, the thing about it, we want to, like Paul say, we want to have a zeal of God, you know what I'm saying, and create our own understanding of righteousness, which is going to lead us to that lake of fire. He said he altered season and feast. So when you're dealing with adding on, making your own feast, taking a feast for the other nation, this is what you got to understand. Give me that Amos 5 and 21 right quick. This is why precept must be upon precept. You must understand that he distinguished, all power has distinguished everything for his chosen seed to do. You must understand that and precept that to understand this precept. Read that right quick.
Amos chapter 5 verse 21. I despise your feast days.
So the Most High God addressed, he hate and despise are the one that the man-made feast days, the quote-unquote will be holy days, but man has called them holidays. Read that again.
I despise your feast days.
Read on.
And I will not smell in your solemn assembly. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings.
You do all the customs that you've been taught in your captivity. Let's see what the Most High God
I will not accept them.
He will not what?
Accept them.
But you feel like you're doing something right. But the thing about what you're doing is not of the Most High God. Read on.
Neither Neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts.
Because a lot of times in these feasts, what we do, we cook it up, we barbecue it, we doing all types of things. So, knowing that, Israel, this is our job, man. I know somebody right now upset. They you know what I'm saying? They got the cilantro and the tacos ready. That's what they did the other day. But this is our job to do. Ezekiel chapter 2 and verse 4 right quick. Our people don't want to hear this, man. And that's because they in love with their captivity. They in love, and I'm sure it's with you. Some of our people don't even know they in captivity. Anytime you don't even know you're in captivity, how in the hell you gonna get out of captivity? Right. That's what we gotta think about. But as the watchman, man, our job is to try to bring things into the light, man. That's right. Which is the truth. Read that out.
Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 4. For they are imputed children.
They are what?
Imputed children.
Understand, man, when you're dealing with wicked, just imputed children, you're dealing with a person that don't have a cure for nothing. They gonna do whatever seems fun to do. They gonna pretty much be pleaser of the flesh. Read on,
and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them. And thou shalt say unto them, thus said the Lord God.
This is our job. As us being called, we gotta come to you and do what? Read on.
And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house. Yet shall know that there had been a prophet among them.
So this is our job, Israel. We got to speak the oracles of the Most High God, whether you hear or forbear. But when you go into, give me Proverbs chapter 12 and verse 15, because being imputed, man, is being very disobedient to correction. And we read and we understand correction, instruction is the way of life. Our people has not hearkened to instruction. They going down that slippery slope, but they continue to want to do what they want to do. Read that right quick, God.
Proverbs chapter 12, verse 15. The way of a fool.
The way of a what?
Fool.
Read on.
Is right in his own eyes.
So when you realize what you're doing, man, and you thinking that you're serving the Most High God, and you're dealing with all the ungodly customs, you're not. You're deceiving yourself. Read on.
But he that hearkeneth unto counsel.
He that hearkeneth unto counsel. What is that counsel for the 12 tribes of Israel? Oracles of the Most High God, man. We got to come back to this Bible. Read on.
Is wise.
Is what?
Wise.
Read on.
A fool's wrath is presently known.
A fool's wrath is presently known. You cannot be a God and still be a part of this world and doing the things of this world. Read on.
But a prudent man.
But a what?
Prudent man.
When you're dealing with a prudent man, you're dealing with a man that's pretty much take careful concern of his actions and doing. A man that's actually abiding in righteousness, have a mindset of righteousness, and is going to be very cautious in what he do. Read on.
Cover it shame.
Do what?
Cover it shame.
He going to avoid that shame, man, which is going to lead to that lake of fire. Proverbs 30. Give me 13 to 13. Jump over right quick. Proverbs 13.
Proverbs chapter 13, verse 13.
Because this is what's going on. Read.
Whoso despises the word shall be destroyed.
Shall be what?
Destroyed.
Read on.
But he that feareth the commandment shall be rewarded.
So this is what we're praying that our people do, man. You gotta pretty much fear the commandments, so you can get that pretty much immortality, which is that eternal life. Coming to a close, Israel. Give us Sirach chapter 3, verse 23, man. I pray our people repent and realize, man, you've been taught the doctrines of devil. You've been given that dome hill with that sugar coated on it, and you think everything is good. But this is what you got to understand. Read up.
Sirach chapter 3, verse 23. Be not curious in unnecessary matters.
Because Cinco de Mayo is totally unnecessary and unneeded for the 12 tribes of Israel. That is pretty much what you've been taught in your captivity, Israel. Read on.
For more things are shewed unto thee than men understand.
Because we must come back to the oracles of the Most High God. Read.
For many are deceived.
What is our people?
Deceived.
Read on.
By their own vain opinion.
Read on.
And an evil suspicion had overthrown their judgment.
Their understanding of the truth, man. Last precept, 1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Because when you really think about it, when you're dealing with all these pagan customs, if there's sugar on that dome here, it's sweet, but it's going to end up with a bitter taste in your mouth. And that bitter taste going to lead you to the lake of fire. Read that,
1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world.
Do what?
Love not the world.
Read on.
Neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world.
Read on.
And the world passeth away.
This is what our people don't understand. Ain't gonna be no Cinco De Mayo in the kingdom, man. Ain't gonna be no Christmas in the kingdom, man. All these things that you are rehearsing is pretty much a ungodly custom, Israel. Read.
In the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever.
And on that note, we're gonna say shalom.